Hi everyone, I'm so sorry I took so long to upload a new video. I've been kind of stumped on ideas, but today we are going to, finally, today we are going to be making this really neat bracelet that I call the Magic Act, because on one side it looks like a regular triple single, but on the other side, the center row disappears. So really it's only 2 rows. So to make this bracelet, all you're going to need is your loom, your hook, and your bands. So I think today I'm going to, I think I'm just going to do a dark blue background with a white center. So what you're going to do first is make sure that your arrows are pointing towards you. And once you've got it set up in that direction, this whole thing is going to be double banded. And so what you're going to do is you're going to start at this very top peg, and you're going to, from there, go diagonally with double bands to one side and then to the other side. So it should look like this. Then what you do is the rest of the way you're going to go down with double bands on both sides all the way except for these 2 bottom pegs. Nothing should be on these 2 bottom pegs. And it should look like this all the way down on both sides. So you're just taking double band, 1 peg to the next peg underneath. I'll come back when I'm finished with that. So I've finished with my sides. So now what it should look like, this is the top, and it should look like this. And so what you're going to do now is you're going to take double band for this, everything. You're going to go from one side to the center, like this, and then the other side to the center, like that. So it should be like a hexagon shape. So once you're done with that, you're going to take your middle color. With this one I did green, and on the outside I faded in. If you want to fade for the outside, you just, every time you change colors, you're going to do one of the color that you're changing from and one of the color that you're changing to. And like this one, for the center color, I did a whole bunch of different colors. I did rainbow, and I also faded on the outside. So there's a whole bunch of color combinations. It just depends on what bands you have. For this one I'm just going to do white. So what you're doing, this is still double band, everything. You're going to take double band, and you're going to go across every single spot like that. And on all of the spots where you go across, except for this one, you're going to go across, and then with your fingers or your hook, you're going to pull the bottom one down to that peg underneath. So again, you're going to go across and pull down. And you can use your fingers or your hook for that part. I like to use my fingers just because I think it's easier to let go of it. Across, pull down. So I'll do it probably about 2 more times, and then I'll come back when I'm finished with the whole thing, with all the triangles. So across, pull down. Across, and pull down. Like that. So once you're done with the triangles, your loom should look like this. Still with this bottom one just a line. So once you're done with that, what you're going to do is you're going to take your hook, and you're going to grab the bottom section and pull it up over the top, over the bottom section, over to the next peg up, like that. And then after that bottom one, you have to start on the very bottom one. And then after that bottom one, you're going to grab through that little tiny triangle right here, and you're going to pull it over the peg, through the hole, and up to the top. Again, you're going to go through the triangle and up with the bottom. Through the triangle and up. I'll do it one more time. Through the triangle and up. If you still don't get it and it's still confusing, you can rewind and do that until, well, you can rewind as many times as you want until you get it. I'll come back when I'm finished with it. It should look kind of like a railroad in the middle, slightly. And as you can see, I even did the very top. So once you're done with that, you're going to take one band from the bottom of your border color, whichever one you used last in your border color. You're going to twist it, cap band, and put it on that bottom peg, right there, on this peg. Then you're going to go through that cap band, grab the bottom two bands, bring it through the cap band, and loop it to whichever side it matches, whichever side it makes a teardrop on when you pull. And then you do the other side. See, when you pull it, it makes a teardrop, and you bring it up to that side. And then on both sides, once you're done with that, you go through whichever side you want to start on, or you could alternate. You go through, grab the bottom two bands, the border bands, and loop it forward like that. Kind of like a single chain, just double banded. That's all you're doing. Loop it up. Just like this. See? Just like that. And you're going to do that all the way up on both sides. Like this. I'm going to do bottom two bands. Oh. Bottom two bands. And loop them forward. I'll come back when I'm finished with both sides. So I've finished looping. And when you're done with that, your loom should look like this with a triangle on the bottom. That's your cap band. It should look somewhat like this. Hopefully different colors if you want to go out and do something different. And then after that, you're going to, I left these two so that you could see what you're going to do. You're going to go into that side, grab only the bottom two bands. Just do what you've been doing and just loop it to the center, just like that. Again, bottom two bands, grab them and loop them to the center. And then you're pretty much done with your bracelet. And then now you're gonna take, again, still double band, do that. Double bands, put it through all of the bands on that top peg, grab the double band, the two bands that you just grabbed, and you're not going to slip knot it. You're going to just hold it on your hook. I like to put it on the thickest part of my hook so it stays, which is this little band right here. Not really band, but like that little ring. And then you're just going to pull it off your loom. And so once it's off your loom, you can stretch it, fiddle with it a little bit until it looks like what you want it to look like. So this is what mine looks like. This side looks like this. Normal, triple, single. Just with a white center. And then this side looks doubled. Just doubled. And look, if you stretch it, it looks really neat. You can see the pattern from the loom. But only if you stretch it you can see that. You kind of got to roll it out. And to unroll it, you can either just roll it back in or stretch it. And it just goes back to normal. So once you're done with that, you can take whichever color you want. You can do your center color. or you can do your border color. I'm going to do my border color and do however many bands. I like to do just double of what I have here, so I like to do just the whole loom down. I'm just going to go double band with your color that you want, a color of your choice, doesn't matter what color, and just go down until you think it's long enough so that it has an extension, so that it actually fits your wrist. And it doesn't have to be double banded if you don't want it to. If you want it to just be single banded with this part right here that we did double band and pulled it through, you would just do single band so it all blends together. But I think double band looks better. It doesn't look as twisted if it gets twisted. So once you have it all the way down like this, you're going to use this part that you pulled off the loom with, that you pulled through everything, as a cap band, and you're just going to put it on down here, the very bottom, like you would with a single, like this, like you would do with a single chain, and you just loop it forward like we did on the border. It's kind of tricky with this first part because you've got to pull it back and not grab anything besides the bottom two. So you just loop it forward, grab the bottom two. And I forgot to grab I forgot to grab one, but you either use a C-clip or S-clip. You can either attach it to the cap band on here first, or when you're done looping this, you can attach it down here then to the cap band. But for mine, I'm just going to leave it with no C-clip or S-clip right now because I don't have one with me at the moment. So just loop it forward, and just put your hook in at the very end, and pull it up. And just put a C-clip or S-clip. And if you want to try it on and see if it's long enough, you just grab the cap band, put it on your hook, and then put everything on the thickest part of your hook. And just try it on. See how it fits. If it's too small, add extra. If it's too big, just take some off. And that's your Magic Act bracelet.